Hey, what's going on? It's Stokely from Sausandu Lane. Hey man, here's another nail in the coffin saying to stay away from people. The New York City Department of Health, I follow them on the internet, and periodically they release a little bit of data. Now they release this data not with just the end all and be all of just mentioning it. They want us to all know and be considerate of New Yorkers who are struggling with mental health problems, and to also bring attention to the fact that people need help and stuff like that. There's been a push to have the police department trained in dealing with people with mental health conditions, because instances where the police have to deal with a mentally disturbed person requires special attention, especially if we don't want that person to lose their lives in the process of getting help, which many of them do lose their lives in the process. There's a young man in South Queens recently. The police, his mother called for help because I guess he was being violent, and the police came to the home. He had some scissors in his hand, and he approached them. They discharged their tasers, and like any good mother, she was concerned for her son, so she jumped on her son and took out the taser electrodes. He was able to, get himself back together. And of course, I would think he would be upset that they just electrocuted him. So he got himself back together, got up, started approaching the police, and this time they discharged their weapons, and then he ended up losing his life. So what many people are advocating and suggesting is that there should be a special division or special training to deal with mentally or emotionally disturbed people. People that are not, operating in the right mental state. They're not, logic will not work with them. Logic is not going to work. So it needs a special kind of negotiation, a special kind of interaction. Because if that young man had logic, he would know that, well, the police have guns, and there's more of them than there are me. It's probably better I run. But, I don't know if he was in an apartment building or he didn't have a position to run from. But his choice was to move towards the police, and they took him out of his glory. Now, in one of the recent New York City Department of Health public releases, it mentioned a statistic that approximately 1 in 5 Americans struggles with mental health problems. That translates to 20%. That translates to, if you're standing and you're looking at 5 people, one of them it has a mental health issue. 20%. Let's look at the magnitude of what 20% is. There's about 330 million people in America. So that's 20 plus 20 plus 6. No, that's 20 plus 20 plus 20 plus 6. That's 66 million. What a scary number, though, right? 66 million people in America struggle with mental health issues. Like I said, it's another reason why you should stay away from people. It's another reason why you should be careful of people. People who struggle with mental illness, it's probably no fault of their own. Maybe they use marijuana, maybe they use cocaine, maybe they use methamphetamine, maybe they use alcohol, maybe they were abused. So some people, they didn't set out to do that. You know, it's a consequence of whatever happened to them, which is very tragic. But you know, you got to protect yourself. You got to protect yourself. Try to get yourself healthy. This man is peeing in public. Try to get sunlight. You know, I talk about all these things all the time. Try to get sunlight, get more omega-3s in your diet. Take care of yourself. Manage your stress. Flee from evil. Flee from the triggers as much as possible. Also embrace that we're all wild animals and you're going to face manipulation dealing with human beings. So nobody really cares. You just got to do what you got to do. Anyhow, I'm on a limited schedule. So, you know, my car is like one of my places of refuge. You know, I like being in my car. It's like one of the only places that I get to be by myself. But aside from that, 20%, 66 million Americans. So you got to be careful how you treat people, how you encounter them. They may not, you know, 1 out of 5 of them, it may not react to you in a linear fashion. And these numbers are on the rise based on all of these things. Like I think the Stony Brook University is doing a study on Facebook and aggregating data from Facebook to determine the mental health of the population. And they also refer to that 1 in 5 statistic. But hey, that's all I gotta say. You know, be careful out there. Take care.